Hello, John. Good evening. What do you want to talk about tonight?
Paul, Tim, thanks for taking the call. I want to talk about FIRB and what might now happen with China. The preface to my question is, in a perfect world where if the world wasn't so reliant upon China for trade, a world court might hear whether China has negligently or purposely caused the coronavirus, and if found guilty, damages would ensue, and those damages wouldn't be paid by China. But then, of course, the World Court could say that all debt to China is forgiven to the amount of the damages. That's in a perfect world. That's not going to happen. But my question is, in light of all of that, assets in Australia have been depreciated and lost value as a result of the virus, and the big chance now is that China will swoop in to try and purchase those assets cheaply. And the question is whether you think FIRB will now, for the first time, start doing its job properly and prevent Australia being sold for bargain barrel prices to China, despite the fact that it's allowing China now to buy it at normal prices.
Appreciate it, John. Thank you very much. Tim, they've basically paused everything before the Foreign Investment Review Board. Now, the UK was talking about potentially these legal cases that might be $6 trillion. Good luck getting any of that. But what do you think about that foreign investment sell-off stuff?
Well, they've already changed things. What they've changed is, as I understand it, instead of the ceiling being, whatever it was, $100,000, they've dropped it down to zero. So any foreign investment now triggers a review. So that's right now very important, because you can't have an economy being destroyed and then further destroyed, a second wave of destruction, by losing all your assets to foreign buyers. Secondly, we're going to be in a position sooner or later, once we get out of this, and we're coming up maybe quicker, fingers crossed, faster than we thought to that point. We'll be in the position as individuals and as a nation, as investors, as business people, to exact our own damages cost on China. We won't need world courts. We won't need a great deal of regulation. We simply stop dealing with a nation that is rogue. We don't trade with them anymore. And we cop, maybe a 5%, penalty on all our purchases that otherwise are so cheap from China. We make new deals with places like India, with Taiwan, places with whom civilised people can deal. And that way, we can even up the score pretty damn straight.
Yeah, I also have a bit of a feeling that there's going to be this little window, don't know how long it's going to be, but I think there's going to be this absolute surge and a want for a little bit about that sort of 80s Aussie awesomeness feeling, right? Like, I believe there should be in the supermarkets the buy Aussie aisle, the manufactured and when you go, certain parts of the country, you'll see a TV show made in Adelaide written in the promos. I can see that the best way to sell to Australians is to say that it's an Australian product.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And if we can kick that off, get that moving, it's a sort of a silver lining scenario, but fingers crossed, let's say.